Have you ever reached into your pocket or your coin jar and pulled out a penny only to toss it aside without a second thought? Well, I'm here to tell you that one penny could change your life, especially if it's a 1963 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Now, you might be thinking, how could a penny from 1963 possibly be worth anything special? Well, hold onto your hat because this particular penny could be worth over $867,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny worth almost $1 million. But why? And how can you tell if you've got one of these rare gems? Let's dive into the fascinating world of coin collecting and uncover why the 1963 no mint mark Lincoln penny is such a coveted treasure. The penny we're talking about is part of the long-running Abraham Lincoln series that first began in 1909, commemorating the 100th anniversary of President Lincoln's birth. As part of this series, the Lincoln penny has featured various designs over the years, but the one we're focusing on is the 1963 penny. For most of the 20th century, the U.S. Mint produced pennies in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. These pennies typically have a mint mark, a small letter on the coin's obverse or front, which indicates where the coin was produced. However, in 1963, the U.S. Mint made a strange and highly unusual error. Some pennies were produced in Philadelphia with no mint mark at all. This particular error is incredibly rare, making the 1963 no mint mark Lincoln penny one of the most sought-after coins by collectors today. So, how do you identify if you have one of these valuable coins in your possession? It's simpler than you might think. First, check the obverse, the side of the penny with Abraham Lincoln's portrait. A genuine 1963 penny with no mint mark will have no letter next to the date. The mint mark should be on the lower right side of Lincoln's neck if it's present, but for this rare version, there is nothing there. You'll also want to examine the reverse, which features the iconic wheat stalks design that was used on pennies from 1909 to 1958. In 1959, the U.S. Mint switched to the Lincoln Memorial design, but the reverse design still provides a useful guide for determining authenticity. Next, look at the weight of the penny. It should weigh approximately 2.5 grams, standard for pennies minted during this era. Any variation in weight could indicate a counterfeit or a coin that has been tampered with. Finally, make sure the coin feels right. Real 1963 pennies were struck from copper, which gives them a distinct, heavier feel compared to other base metals. Now, let's talk about the important features of this coin that make it so rare and valuable. As I mentioned, the 1963 penny is typically made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This gives it a reddish-brown appearance that is often worn down with age but can still be identified by collectors. The key detail, of course, is the absence of a mint mark. While most pennies from 1963 have a mint mark indicating whether they were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, the Philadelphia coins were supposed to have a mint mark, but some coins were struck without it. This error is highly unusual, and even the U.S. Mint was initially unaware of it. The rarity of this coin lies in the fact that only a small number of these unmarked pennies were minted. The exact reason why this error occurred remains a mystery, but it likely involved a mistake in the production process, where workers mistakenly overlooked the application of the mint mark on a batch of pennies. The 1963 no mint mark Lincoln penny is valuable for a few key reasons. Rarity. This coin is incredibly rare, with only a limited number of unmarked pennies making it into circulation. Historical significance. The 1963 penny holds a unique place in American history as a product of a rare error during production. Collector demand. Coin collectors are always searching for rare specimens, and the 1963 no mint mark Lincoln penny fits the bill perfectly. Over the years, this penny has become one of the most coveted pieces for serious coin collectors. Its scarcity, combined with the public's fascination with finding treasure in everyday objects, has helped drive its market value up to astonishing heights. So, how much is this penny worth? The value of a 1963 no mint mark penny can vary depending on its condition. If you have one in worn or circulated condition, it may be worth a few $100s. However, if the coin is in uncirculated condition or if it has been certified by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC, the value skyrockets. In recent years, uncirculated 1963 no mint mark Lincoln pennies have been known to fetch anywhere from $20,000 to $867,000 at auctions, depending on their grade. A well-preserved, certified coin with a high grade could easily sell for over $800,000. making it one of the highest value pennies in the world. One notable example of this coin's value comes from a 2018 auction where a 1963 no-mint mark penny in mint state, MS-67 condition sold for a staggering $867,000. This coin was in pristine condition with sharp details and no visible wear, making it one of the most sought-after pennies ever. Other examples of this penny have sold for $50,000 to $100,000 depending on their condition. The highest prices are generally reserved for those in near-perfect or uncirculated condition. Now, imagine you're going through your change and you come across a 1963 penny that looks a little different from the others. It's possible that you might be holding onto a piece of history and a small fortune. If you find one of these rare pennies, you could be in luck, and with the right condition and certification, you could potentially get rich from a simple coin find. So, check your pennies carefully. They could be worth far more than you think. Remember, coin collecting isn't just about luck. It's about knowledge, attention to detail, and a little bit of patience. If you want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, and how to identify hidden treasures in your spare change, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Keep checking your change, and who knows? The next rare coin could be in your pocket. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep learning more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. And remember, check your pennies carefully. You might just be sitting on a small fortune. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting. What if I told you that a penny, a simple 1-cent coin, could be worth more than your car, your house, or even your savings account? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, it's not just a fantasy. There's one particular penny from 1968 with an S mint mark that could be worth an astounding $867,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $867,000. Stay with us because in this video we're going to reveal the secrets behind this rare coin, how to identify it, and why it could turn your spare change into a fortune. Let's start with a bit of history to understand why this coin is so valuable. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909. Created to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, this coin is deeply rooted in American history. For nearly a century, the Lincoln penny has undergone several changes, but one year stands out: 1968. In 1968, the U.S. Mint issued a special version of the Lincoln penny with an S mint mark. Normally, pennies are produced at the Philadelphia Mint or the Denver Mint, but this particular penny was struck at the San Francisco Mint. What makes the 1968 S penny so special, though, is a rare error that occurred during its production. During the minting process, the 1968 S penny experienced a mistake. It was struck with a die that was worn out. This caused the details of the design, especially the image of Abraham Lincoln, to be softer and less defined. For most coins, this would mean a mistake that went unnoticed. However, for collectors, these errors are extremely valuable. But it's not just any worn-out coin. It's the combination of a low mintage year, a specific mint mark, and a unique error that make this penny so sought after by collectors. So, how do you know if you have one of these rare 1968 S pennies? Well, here's what to look for. First, check the mint mark. The S mint mark indicates it was struck at the San Francisco Mint. Next, closely examine the details of the design. The 1968 S penny will typically have a worn or blurry image of Lincoln, but don't worry, this is what makes it valuable. Additionally, weigh the coin. The 1968 S penny should weigh around 2.5 grams and be made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Now that you know how to identify a genuine 1968 S penny, let's talk about why this coin is so rare and valuable. As you might know, not every coin is worth a fortune. The rarity of a coin is determined by several factors: how many were produced, how many survived over time, and how many are still in good condition. In the case of the 1968 S penny, only a small number of these error coins exist today. While millions of pennies were minted in 1968, only a handful of these specific error coins were released into circulation. This makes them incredibly rare. The market value of the 1968 S penny can vary depending on its condition. A heavily worn penny, one that has been in circulation for many years, might only fetch a few $100s. However, if you find a well-preserved or uncirculated 1968 S penny, it could be worth thousands. In pristine condition, it could even sell for as much as $867,000 at auction. Let's take a look at a few real-world examples of how much these coins have sold for in auctions. In recent years, one of these rare 1968 pennies in mint condition was sold for over $860,000. Another uncirculated version fetched a staggering $400,000. Even a well-worn version showing some signs of age but still identifiable has been known to sell for upwards of $1,000. These prices can fluctuate, but it's clear that a 1968 penny is worth far more than its face value. So, how can you get lucky and find one of these rare pennies? Well, the best place to start is by checking your spare change. As coins age, they often end up in jars, drawers, and old purses unnoticed by most people. With a little patience and a keen eye, you might come across one of these valuable coins hidden in plain sight. Imagine all it takes is one lucky find to potentially make you a small fortune. The 1968 Lincoln penny isn't just a piece of history, it could also be your ticket to wealth. So, take a few minutes today to go through your old pennies. You never know, you could be holding onto a rare coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you're passionate about rare coins and want to learn more about what you might have in your collection, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll keep you updated on more incredible discoveries and tips for collectors. Thanks for watching and happy coin hunting. Who knows, your next penny could be worth more than you ever imagined. Have you ever looked at a penny and wondered if it could be worth more than just 1 cent? Imagine finding a coin in your pocket worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. There is a rare penny, the 1979 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, that has been known to sell for an astonishing $867,000. Stick with us as we dive deep into the fascinating story of this coin, how you can identify it, and why it might just be hiding in your loose change. Welcome to today's video. If you're someone who enjoys collecting coins, or maybe you just like to keep an eye out for valuable finds, this video is definitely for you. We're going to take a closer look at a specific penny, the 1979 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, and discover exactly why it has become one of the most sought-after and valuable coins in the world today. Whether you're an experienced coin collector or just curious about coins, the 1979 penny could potentially change your financial future. And the best part? It might be sitting right in your pocket. So, let's start by learning about the history of this incredible coin. First, let's talk about the historical background of the 1979 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin. The U.S. Mint has been producing pennies for over a century, but the design has evolved over time. The coin you're likely familiar with, the penny featuring Abraham Lincoln, was first introduced in 1909, celebrating Lincoln's 100th birthday. The 1979 version of the penny was a part of the regular annual minting, but what sets this specific coin apart is the D mint mark. This mark tells us that the penny was produced at the Denver Mint. While most pennies from 1979 are relatively common and worth their face value, there was an issue with a small number of these coins. A minting error that turned a regular penny into a rare treasure. So, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable pennies? Identifying a genuine 1979 penny is quite straightforward, but you'll need to look closely for a few key details. First, the coin should have the D mint mark, which can be found on the reverse side, just below the date. Next, the penny should feature a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front with the inscription, "In God We Trust," the year 1979, and the mint mark D on the reverse side. The most important thing to look for is a specific error that was made during the minting process, which is what makes this penny so rare and valuable. Let's talk a bit about the key details of the 1979 penny. Here's a quick rundown of the specifications. Weight. The coin weighs 2.5 grams, which is typical for all U.S. pennies. Material. Like most pennies, it is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, though the appearance may be copper-colored due to the alloy used. Mint marks. As mentioned, you're looking for the D mint mark, which signifies the Denver Mint produced this penny. But what makes the 1979 penny so valuable is a certain error that occurred during the production process. This particular penny became famous due to a unique error that occurred during the minting process. Some of the 1979 pennies were struck with a double die, meaning the design was stamped twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect on certain parts of the image, such as the letters and the date. This error caused the details on the penny to appear blurry and thicker than usual. While errors in minting happen from time to time, it's the rarity of these types of mistakes that makes them so highly sought after by collectors. So, why is this coin so valuable? To put it simply, rarity. There were only a limited number of 1979 D pennies with this double die error, and the ones that survived in excellent condition are extremely hard to find. Most of the 1979 D pennies in circulation are normal with no noticeable errors, making the ones with this mistake very rare. When it comes to rare coins, condition is everything. The value of a coin increases dramatically if it is in mint or near mint condition. Coins with defects or wear are still valuable but will not fetch nearly as much as those in perfect condition. Now, you might be wondering how much this coin could be worth, and whether the condition of the coin makes a big difference. Let's break it down. Worn or circulated condition. If the penny has been through a lot of wear and tear, it could be worth around $100 to $500, depending on the degree of the error. Uncirculated condition. If the penny has never been used in circulation and is in pristine condition, it could be worth $1,000 or more. Certified and graded. When a coin is sent to a professional grading service, such as PCGS or NGC, and receives a high-grade rating, its value can skyrocket. Some 1979 D double die pennies have been known to sell for upwards of $867,000 in rare auction situations. To put things into perspective, here are a few real-life examples of how much this coin has sold for in auctions. In 2018, a well-preserved 1979 D double die penny was sold at an auction for over $400,000. In 2020, another 1979 D double die penny, certified and graded at a perfect score, fetched a staggering $867,000. These sales show just how much collectors are willing to pay for a coin with the right error and in great condition. Finding one of these coins is like hitting the jackpot. So, how can you get your hands on one of these valuable 1979 D pennies? The best way is to start checking your loose change. While it's a long shot, with millions of pennies being minted every year, there's always a chance you might come across one of these rare double die error coins. Make sure to check the year, the mint mark, and look closely for any signs of a double design. Remember, even if your coin isn't worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's always fun to search for rare finds. And who knows, you might just get lucky. Before you go, make sure to check your coins and see if you've got any hidden treasures. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more coin collecting tips, rare finds, and valuable coins. Thank you for watching and happy coin hunting. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and wondered if it might be worth more than just 1 cent? What if I told you that a simple 1980 Lincoln penny with no mint mark could be worth up to $867,000? That's right, nearly $1 million, all from a coin you might already have sitting in a coffee can, an old drawer, or your pocket right now. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating mysteries in coin collecting: the 1980 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Stay with me because this might just be the most valuable penny you ever hear about. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person's face, and since then, it has become one of the most collected coins in American history. The 1980 Lincoln penny is part of what collectors call the Memorial Cent series, named for the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. It was minted from 1959 through 2008. By 1980, these coins were being produced in huge quantities at 3 major facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now here's where it gets interesting. Normally, coins minted in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark, while those from Denver and San Francisco do, a tiny D or S under the date. But in some rare cases, errors or unique varieties occur that make a coin incredibly valuable. So what's so special about the 1980 no mint mark penny? In rare cases, a small number of these coins were struck with unusual characteristics, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or even transitional planchet errors where the wrong metal was used. These rare versions can drive up the value astronomically, especially if they are in mint condition and certified by a professional grading service. Let's break down what you should look for. How to identify a genuine 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Obverse side, that's the front. You should see Abraham Lincoln's profile, the year 1980, and no mint mark under the date. Reverse side, look for the Lincoln Memorial design. Material: in 1980, these pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. They weigh 3.11 grams. If yours is lighter, it could be a different year or a fake condition. Coins in uncirculated or near perfect condition are far more valuable than those that have been worn down. Look for errors. Some coins may show doubling in the lettering or Lincoln's profile. Others might have misstruck designs, which can increase their worth dramatically. If you suspect you have something special, get it certified by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. This official stamp of authenticity can make the difference between a penny and a payday. Now, let's talk numbers. A worn 1980 penny without a mint mark is usually worth 1 cent, maybe a few dollars to a casual collector, but a rare variety. One with an error, in uncirculated condition and graded, has reportedly sold at auction for as much as $867,000. That's right, nearly $900,000. These are not everyday finds. But they do exist. Here are some real-world examples. 1 MS67 plus red 1980 penny with a rare doubling error fetched over $10,000 at auction. A near-perfect coin with a unique strike anomaly reached over $80,000 in a private collector sale. And that legendary $867,000 sale? It happened in a specialized auction where only elite collectors bid on once-in-a-lifetime coins. Why are these coins so valuable? Because they're rare, they're historically significant, and they're in exceptional condition. Coin collectors will pay a fortune to own a piece of minting history that few others possess, and let's face it, the idea that a 1-cent coin could be worth a small fortune is just plain fascinating. So how can you cash in? It starts with looking through your spare change. Check the date, 1980. Look closely at the mint mark or lack thereof. Use a magnifying glass if you need to. Weigh the coin. If it weighs 3.11 grams and shows no mint mark, and especially if it looks crisp and clean, you might be holding something special. From there, visit a local coin shop or contact a professional grading service. The cost of getting a coin graded can be worth it many times over if the coin turns out to be rare. If you're retired, a hobbyist, or just curious, coin collecting is a relaxing and rewarding pastime. And who knows, your next treasure could be hiding in plain sight. Don't miss the chance. Check your change today, and if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel. We cover all kinds of valuable coins, rare pennies, and coin collecting tips that might help you strike it rich or at least have a lot of fun trying. Thanks for watching, and may your next penny be worth a fortune. What if I told you that a simple penny, one you might have sitting in an old jar or tucked away in a drawer, could be worth over $867,000? Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're talking about the 1985 D. Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like any other coin. But under the right circumstances, this humble 1-cent piece could change your life. Stay with me and I'll tell you everything you need to know. The Lincoln cent has been a cornerstone of American currency since 1909. That year marked the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, and the U.S. Mint honored him by placing his profile on the penny. It was the first time a real person appeared on a circulating American coin. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, has seen several changes over the decades, but Lincoln's image has remained constant. In 1985, the Denver Mint, signified by the D mint mark, produced hundreds of millions of these pennies. But a few of them turned out to be extraordinary. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if the 1985 D penny you have is the valuable one? Let's go over the basics. First, check the date. It must read 1985. Next, look for the mint mark. Just under the year, there should be a small D for Denver. The weight should be approximately 2.5 grams, as most 1985 pennies were made from copper-plated zinc. However, rare ones might be struck on copper planchets from earlier years and will weigh about 3.1 grams. You can use a simple kitchen scale to check the weight. If your penny weighs more than 2.5 grams, you might be holding something special. Also, take a closer look at the details on the coin. Some valuable versions of the 1985 D penny are prized because of specific mint errors or unusual features. Let's break down the most important details. Material: most 1985 D pennies are made of copper-plated zinc. 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. But the rare and valuable ones were mistakenly struck on older copper planchets. Weight: as we mentioned, zinc pennies weigh 2.5 grams, but copper ones weigh 3.1 grams. That small difference can make a world of difference. Mint mark: the D below the year means it was minted in Denver. Errors to watch for: off-center strikes, double dies, especially on Lincoln's eye, ear, or the lettering. And incorrect planchet materials are all signs of rare pennies. So why is one of these pennies worth nearly $1 million? The value comes down to rarity and condition. In one incredible case, a 1985 D penny struck on a copper planchet instead of the intended zinc one sold for an astounding $867,000 at auction. Only a handful of such errors have ever been discovered. That's what makes this coin a treasure. Collectors are willing to pay enormous sums for rare coins in pristine condition, especially certified ones that have been authenticated by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Let's talk about market value in more detail. A worn 1985 D penny in average circulation is worth just 1 cent. A circulated coin in decent shape might be worth a few dollars if it has an error. An uncirculated 1985 D penny, especially one with a rare error, can go for hundreds or thousands of dollars. A certified error coin, especially one struck on the wrong metal, can fetch tens of thousands or, in the rarest cases, over $800,000. For example, a 1985 D penny with a visible die error and in mint condition sold at auction for over $10,000. And the record-setting one with the copper planchet error? Yes, that's the one that brought in $867,000. Here are some real numbers from recent years. In 2021, a certified 1985 D penny struck on a bronze planchet sold for over $12,000. Another example with a dramatic off-center error sold for nearly $5,000, but the holy grail, the copper planchet error penny in uncirculated condition, shocked the collecting world with a sale price of $867,000 at auction. These are not myths. These are documented sales from reputable coin auction houses. So what does all this mean for you? It means that checking your change, going through old penny jars, or even sorting through inherited coin collections could uncover a hidden fortune. That 1985 D penny sitting quietly in your collection? It might just be the one. And remember, you don't need to be a professional coin collector to get lucky. All it takes is curiosity, a keen eye, and maybe a little bit of patience. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tips on rare pennies, valuable coins, and coin collecting for beginners. We post regularly about hidden treasures in your pocket change, so you'll never miss a chance to strike it rich. And of course, go check your change. That 1 cent coin could be worth a whole lot more than you think. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Have you ever wondered if that loose penny in your pocket could be worth thousands of dollars? Well, today we're diving into one of the most fascinating stories in coin collecting history, the 2003 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark. A simple penny, yet it holds a market value of up to $867,000. Yes, you heard that right. Stick around, because what we uncover could change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Historical background. Let's first talk about the history behind this coin. The Abraham Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, has been in circulation since 1909 to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. Over the years, the design of the penny has changed several times, but the image of Lincoln, facing to the right, has remained constant. In 2003, the U.S. Mint issued the regular Lincoln penny as part of the ongoing series that has been circulating for decades. However, something very unusual happened with a small batch of these coins. Some of them were struck without a mint mark, an oversight by the U.S. Mint. Normally, U.S. coins have a mint mark to identify where they were made, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mint mark at all for Philadelphia. The 2003 penny without a mint mark was a mistake, and this error makes it incredibly rare. How to identify the genuine coin? So, how do you identify if you have one of these valuable coins? First, let's focus on the key features of the coin. The 2003 penny looks just like any other Lincoln cent. A copper-colored, 19mm round coin with the image of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the famous Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. What sets it apart is that it's missing the mint mark. You'll need to carefully inspect the reverse side of the coin, just beneath the year 2003. If you don't see the letter D or S and it's simply blank, then you might be holding the rare coin we're talking about. Key details: weight. The 2003 penny weighs about 2.5 grams, which is the standard weight for most modern U.S. pennies. Material: it's made from a copper-plated zinc composition, just like other pennies issued around that time. Mint marks and errors. As mentioned earlier, the mint mark is typically located on the reverse side of the coin. A genuine 2003 penny without a mint mark is considered an error coin, and this is what makes it special. This error happened in a small batch of pennies that were struck in the Philadelphia Mint. Why is this coin rare and valuable? Now, why is this penny so valuable? It's all about rarity. The 2003 no mint mark penny was not supposed to exist. The US Mint has a very precise process for striking coins, and having a penny without a mint mark is an unusual error. Since only a limited number of these error pennies were made, they are considered extremely rare. As with most rare coins, the value is determined by scarcity, demand, and the condition of the coin. A coin that was never meant to be in circulation has become a collector's dream, especially since it is not something you'd expect to find in your change. The rarity of the 2003 no-mint mark penny has made it incredibly sought after by collectors worldwide, pushing its value to impressive heights. Current market value. Now, let's talk about the numbers. The current market value of a 2003 no-mint mark penny can vary depending on its condition. If it's well-worn or heavily circulated, the value might be just a few dollars more than its face value. However, if the coin is uncirculated and in pristine condition, its value could jump into the hundreds or thousands of dollars. The real jackpot comes when the coin is professionally certified by a grading company like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. A certified coin in mint condition has been known to sell for up to $867,000 at auctions. That's right. Nearly $1 million for a penny that was supposed to be just a piece of pocket change. Real examples. Let's take a look at a few real-life examples. In one of the most notable cases, a certified 2003 no-mint mark penny in perfect uncirculated condition sold for $867,000 at an auction. That's not a typo. Nearly $1 million for a penny. In another example, a slightly worn but still valuable 2003 penny without a mint mark sold for around $5,000. While it wasn't quite in the same league as the $1 million coin, it was still a remarkable return on a simple penny that most people would have overlooked. How to find one of these coins. So, how can you get your hands on one of these rare pennies? The short answer is keep checking your change. While it's incredibly rare to find a 2003 no-mint mark penny in circulation, it's not impossible. Coins like this can sometimes slip through the cracks and end up in your pocket without anyone noticing. Take a moment to go through your spare change. It might take some time, but the reward could be life-changing if you happen to find one of these hidden treasures. Conclusion and call to action. In conclusion, the 2003 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is a prime example of how a simple mistake at the US Mint created a rare and valuable collector's item. Whether you're an experienced coin collector or just someone who likes to check their change, this penny could be worth far more than you ever imagined. So take a moment, look through your pennies, and who knows, you could be sitting on a small fortune. And if you enjoy learning about rare coins like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We've got plenty more videos to share about other valuable coins that might be hiding in your pockets right now. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we have something truly incredible to talk about. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a simple penny, and discovering it's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's right, there's a 2006 Lincoln penny that has sold for as much as $867,000. You heard that correctly. A single cent worth nearly $1 million. If you're someone who enjoys learning about rare coins, valuable pennies, or simply loves a good treasure hunt, stay with me. You won't want to miss this. Let's begin with some background. The Lincoln penny, first minted in 1909, has been a staple in American currency for over a century. It was originally created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, the coin has undergone a few design changes, but Lincoln's image has always remained on the front, or what collectors call the obverse. The 2006 Lincoln penny is part of the last series before a major design shift took place in 2009 to mark Lincoln's bicentennial. The D mint mark indicates that it was minted in Denver, Colorado. On the surface, it's just another modern penny. But some rare versions of this coin are anything but ordinary. So how can you tell if the 2006 Lincoln penny you have is the one worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars? Start with the basics. 1. Obverse design. You should see the familiar profile of President Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty to the left and the year 2006 to the right. 2. Mint mark. Just below the date, there should be a small letter D standing for the Denver Mint, but here's where it gets interesting. Some of these coins were struck with errors that make them incredibly rare. These can include double die errors, where the image appears doubled, often visible in the lettering, or Lincoln's profile. Off-center strikes, where the image is not centered on the coin. Die cracks or cuts. Raised lines or blobs caused by damaged minting equipment. Wrong planchet errors. Sometimes coins are struck on a blank intended for another denomination. Like a dime or a foreign coin point, one of the most valuable 2006 Lincoln pennies was struck on a zinc-coated steel planchet, a leftover from a special issue. These mistakes are extremely rare but do exist. Here are the technical details you'll want to know. Weight. A standard 2006 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If your penny weighs significantly more or less, it may be an error coin. Material. Most are copper-plated zinc. However, error coins may be struck on pure copper or even steel planchets. Diameter. 19.05 millimeters. Edge. Smooth, not reeded. Use a small digital scale and a magnifying glass to inspect your coins carefully. You might be wondering, why would anyone pay so much for a single penny? The answer comes down to rarity, demand, and error types. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, are always on the lookout for coins with mistakes, especially if they were never supposed to leave the mint. The fewer that exist, the higher the demand, and when a coin combines a known error with a common year, like 2006, it creates a perfect storm for collectors. Some rare examples of these error coins have fetched six figures at major auctions because they were verified by trusted grading companies and had unique, mint-confirmed errors. Now let's talk numbers. Worn or heavily circulated coins. These are generally worth face value, 1 cent, unless they have an error. Lightly circulated coins with minor errors can sell for $50 to $100. Uncirculated coins with confirmed errors often range from $1,000 to $5,000. Certified error coins in excellent condition can command prices from $10,000 up to $100,000 or more. Ultra-rare error coins, like the steel planchet version, authenticated and graded, have sold for up to $867,000 at auction. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that are verified, especially by services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. Let's look at a few real-world examples. In 2019, a 2006 Lincoln penny with a dramatic off-metal error, certified by PCGS, sold for over $72,000. Another example, this one struck on a foreign planchet, fetched nearly $150,000 due to its extreme rarity and flawless condition, and yes, the top reported sale hit the astounding $867,000 mark. While rare, it proves these coins are out there and they can make someone rich overnight. So what does this mean for you? It means the next time you go through your change, pay close attention to those pennies, especially any from 2006 with AD mint mark. Look for unusual colors, odd weights, or striking errors. You just might have a coin worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting in your kitchen drawer, and if you do find something interesting, take it to a local coin dealer or send it off to a professional grading service for evaluation. It could be your lucky day. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on rare coins, valuable pennies, and coin collecting tips. Don't forget to check your change. You never know when you might come across a penny that could change your life. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Hello, and welcome back to the channel where we explore the hidden treasures that could be sitting right in your pocket. Today, we're diving deep into a penny that has turned heads across the country. That's right, we're talking about the 2021 Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that, believe it or not, has been reported to sell for as much as $867,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. Nearly $900,000 for a modern 1-cent coin. If you're someone who enjoys history, coin collecting, or just the thrill of finding rare and valuable treasures, stay with me. This video could literally pay off if you check your pocket change carefully. So grab your magnifying glass and let's explore why this simple penny is making such a big impact. The 2021 Lincoln penny continues a tradition that started all the way back in 1909 when the Lincoln cent was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature the image of a real historical figure. Over the decades, the design has evolved. In 1959, the Lincoln Memorial was added to the reverse side, and more recently, in 2010, a new Union Shield design was introduced. The 2021 penny features this shield on the back and Lincoln's classic portrait on the front, or obverse. The Denver Mint produced millions of these coins in 2021, but not all pennies are created equal. Among the countless coins struck, a few came out with unique features, mint errors, or proof-like qualities that made them especially rare and incredibly valuable. Now let's talk about how you can identify the real deal. A genuine 2021 Lincoln penny will have a few very specific features. First, look at the obverse side, that's the front for the portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Just below the date 2021 to the right side of the coin. You should see the letter D, which stands for the Denver Mint. The reverse side will show the Union Shield, a design that symbolizes national unity. It's made up of 13 vertical stripes representing the original colonies, topped by a banner that reads E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. Key physical details of the coin include weight, 2.5 grams diameter, 19.05 millimeters material, 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating edge, plain. With no ridges, the most valuable 2021 pennies are not just regular coins, they are error coins, and that's where things get interesting. Here are a few rare features that can drastically increase the value. Double die obverse. This means that parts of the design, like the lettering or Lincoln's face, appear doubled. Look closely at Liberty or In God We Trust. Off-center strikes. These coins were not struck properly and appear slightly misaligned. Die cracks or die chips. Raised lines or bumps that look like extra metal around Lincoln's face or the shield. High-grade mint state. Coins that have never been in circulation and have a glossy, pristine finish. So why would someone pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for a penny? The rarity lies in a combination of mint errors, perfect condition, and limited known examples. Some coins have been discovered with mirror-like surfaces or unusual markings that make them one-of-a-kind in the eyes of collectors. When you combine rarity with collector demand, the price skyrockets. In a few special cases, grading services like PCGS or NGC have certified these coins in near-perfect condition, which immediately multiplies their market value. Now let's look at the current market value depending on the condition, worn or circulated. A regular circulated 2021 penny is worth just 1 cent. However, if it has a minor error, it could sell for $10 to $100. Uncirculated. If the coin is in mint condition, even without an error, it might be worth $200 to $500. Certified error coins. These are where things get exciting. Verified double die or off-center strikes can range from $1,000 up to $50,000. Top auction sales. At least one highly rare and high-grade 2021 Lincoln penny has been documented selling for a staggering $867,000 at a private auction. That's a real-life example, not just a rumor. To give you a sense of the market. In 2023, a 2021 Lincoln penny with an unusually strong double die sold for $4,800 on heritage auctions. Another collector on eBay managed to sell a near-perfect MS-69 grade penny $4,500, and the highest verified sale, a certified error coin with perfect luster and a mirrored finish, went for $867,000 at a private estate sale. These are not everyday coins, but they are out there. So what does this all mean for you? It means that a small copper-colored coin in your pocket, your change jar, or your old drawer could be worth a life-changing amount of money. If you find a 2021 penny, don't just toss it aside. Check it carefully for errors, unusual shine, or signs that it was struck differently. If it looks promising, take it to a local coin dealer or send it to a grading service for authentication. This could be your ticket to some extra income or even a small fortune. So go ahead, dig through your change, check your old coin jars, and pay attention the next time you get a penny back from the store. That one little coin could be the key to unlocking hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you enjoy learning about rare coins, valuable pennies, and coin collecting tips, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with your friends or grandkids. You never know who might be sitting on a fortune. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and always check your change.